Hey yo, it's your boy coming back after months of hiding and dying from school and work. I hope you all have been well and taking care of yourselves. I'm recording this late as hell, but it's fine. I guess I'll just bump this next Christmas. By which I hope you all had a wonderful day reading a script, because I have no idea how to do intros, so watch me fumble going off for the rest of the video. Since there's no other way to do this, I guess I'll just get into it. Yeah, so the style I'm doing this piece is different from my normal. It's one I usually only do for either school or for personal event art, but it is something I found to be very fun and actually kind of relaxing. I don't typically have to pay close attention to rendering it out, and I can actually focus a lot on the other important aspects of the drawing. Plus, it's free to stylize and to experiment as much as I want. A lot of what goes into this kind of art is very instinctive to me, personally. I'm not sure I'd be able to explain besides technicalities and small bits of techniques that I do. I'm not the best person to talk about a lot of what I draw, because this feels right, or this looks right, I think. You know, it's that kind of, it has to be a mood, essentially. You get the knack for it over time after you look at art and like break a lot of like pieces or colors and like techniques down from like other artists and other stuff. You know, absorbing it into your visual library and just playing around with your own personal tastes. A lot of ways that I actually start with pieces like this is by doing a rough sketch, trying to not mind the details, like very much not trying to mind it, and intentionally keeping it messy. I block all the solid colors that I want, and I lower the opacity so I can see what the hell I'm drawing, and draw in more of the finer details and block in the hair and other additional parts that I want the drawing to have. And then start the painting process. I leave painting to like the very end. My regular way of drawing is very render, color inside the lines. So doing something more messy like painting without line art is still kind of new to me. And it's like a bit outside of my comfort zone, but you know, I want to work with it. I keep in mind for the colors that I'm picking. I took a reference pic of myself just to get the anatomy and the lighting accurate, and just drew that in, keeping it how shadows would look under the same conditions as like the photo I took. And just like figuring out like the way that I want the colors to pop out. So we're looking at the light that's directly just coming down onto like the main drawing. The background I still haven't really decided at this point, but I'll just put that in for later. I collect the references to help figure out the direction I really want to go towards, and played a lot with that. A lot of the colors I chose not only for like the sprite for myself, but also like for the background was pretty much close to paying attention to the complementary colors. The rule of thumb is making sure both colors aren't aggressively competing for attention. It's complementary because one takes the spotlight while the other is in the back complementing the main one. Your eye catches these color nuances when it comes to balancing colors and like values. Values, in which case, if people don't know, is the grayscale for the image, where the darks and the lights are used to point out the contrast as well as giving the image like a sense of depth. Foreground has like the darker shade, while the background is more on the lighter side. For some specific subjects, it's going to be focused on having darker base colors. But again, like the overall thing that you want to focus on is really being able to convey these specific set of values so your image reads out properly, and that your viewer can actually understand what the image is, and like the compositional hierarchy I suppose, with like, you know, 3D depth, more or less. You can get that based off like the size of the image, or like the level of contrast with the values, or like with the shades of color that you're picking. You know, so I try to keep these in mind while picking the colors, like mentally converting the tones to how they would be as grays. It's kind of really hard thing to do, but you get the idea the more that you do studies and really closely analyze colors. There are art videos online that go more in depth about grayscale and like values more than what I could really cram into the Speedpaint, but hopefully I might give you some sense of idea. But yeah, anyway, back to the drawing. The thing I really wanted out of this piece is merging like my school style and like my typical heavy rendering painting style into, you know, a single drawing. I did a lot of blind picking for the brushes till I found like the textures I really like, and like stack them on top of each other. You know, touch-ups on the color correction, overlays, color blending, playing with opacity, you know, like those kinds of color effects were pretty much the layers were turned on and off while I would continue to render the drawing. So color color picking could be a lot more easier as I continue to render out, you know, tiny details like adding snow, additional color reflections, and even more texturing, and then the light and more high like color contrast were done pretty much as like final touches. It's super fun to be able to do this style of art, and hopefully you guys like it because I would like to try doing more of this. Please do let me know if you guys like or found this video helpful or maybe inspiring. I really like talking about art, and even though I'm not really the best, it's the only good thing I can talk about, so yeah. Right, so I guess I'll just let you guys enjoy the rest of the video and leave the song that I've been dying to use for Speedpaint play out. Again, Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy holidays. Take care, okay?
Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times.